Okay, here we have little girl Justice, and so we're just calling her Justice. And this is a very cute 15 two-hand, 3-year-old thoroughbred mare by Imagining, and Imagining is a Giant's Causeway line, and she's out of a More Than Ready mare. So this little girl has been here for going on a week now. She's very lightly raced. She only ran 3 times. Her last race was the end of September, but she was on the track until I got her about a week ago, and her last published work was from the beginning of November. So obviously, I mean, she just didn't show any potential as a racehorse, which is why she's so lightly raced. So here she is. She's going to go on and make a cute little sport horse for somebody. She is pint sized. I absolutely love it. So she sticks exactly 15.2, but she's not a very slight horse. She's pretty solid underneath me. She has good bone, and she's still in racehorse condition, excuse me. So she will fill out a ton more. So you will have a short, stout horse underneath you. And of course, she's got a little more growing to do, but obviously she's not going to be huge. I would think she would get to around 15.3. She's totally adorable. Very sweet horse to be around on the ground. Really personable and friendly. Loves herself some treats. Excellent eater. She gets along with all the geldings I have. I don't have any other mares right now, and I've got her next to 2 geldings that she can fully touch and talk to, and she's been great with them. I've not heard a squeal or seen ears pinned at all. So very easy to get along with in the barn with humans and other horses, which is always really nice and pleasant. She's standing wonderfully on cross ties. Good for all the ground manner stuff. Excellent leading in and out. All that stuff's great. This is her first ride, her first post-track ride, and obviously she's adorable. She has absolutely no understanding of the contact whatsoever, which is why we're sort of just plodding around with a loop in the reins. But honestly, I think that it's a bit impressive when a young horse will go like this and go like this pleasantly. You know, she's steering, she's relatively extremely straight through her shoulders. You know, she's not really leaning one way or another. Very polite about basics like going by the gait and steering and turning and doing all of that stuff. And it's nice that she's happy to go around so quietly. You know, she doesn't need the contact or the constant holding to sort of, keep her in check. She is a quiet type of horse. If you watch my lower leg while I'm riding her, it's pretty constantly working, especially in the canter. So she's a quiet-minded young horse who just doesn't understand the contact yet, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm sure she will pick it up pretty quickly. Today, I just sort of wanted to see what she was all about. This was an assessment ride. So all in all, I'm quite pleased with her because she was so polite. She was easygoing, not wanting to go anywhere quicker than I wanted her to go. Her canter transitions, she doesn't really understand the canter transitions yet, so she sort of wants to do a big trot into the canter. And then, as always happens when they do that sort of big trot into the canter, then they sort of fall into the canter, so it's a little bit disorganized. Takes me a couple of steps to sort it out, but she actually rebalanced pretty easily after that transition. So after we did this canter to the left, I decided to start using some poles to try and get the canter. And actually, I have to say, it didn't really work. I didn't get her to pick up the canter going over the poles, but she was absolutely fabulous about just being happy to go over poles and things. And she was so cute. And especially in the little walking clip, I just love how careful and smart she was. She put her nose all the way down to the ground to check out the snow and the poles. It was very adorable. So I think she's quite smart. Anyway, she has a cute little canter. This is a very sort of blank slate. She doesn't have any negative connotations about anything. She just simply doesn't know a heck of a lot. But as far as such a green horse goes, she's pretty easygoing. She steers well, she's straight, she's not quick, she's not worried. So she really just needs an education. So here we took a walk break after we cantered to the left, and so I'm introducing her to walking over poles, which actually has a little added twist right now because there's still snow around all the poles, so it's walking through snow over poles. And I thought she was so adorable how she put her nose all the way down to the ground to have a really good, careful look at where she was putting her feet. She stayed super straight. She's always intending on going, but just really taking a good hard look and think about where she's putting her feet. And I absolutely love seeing that. Brave and careful, such a great combination. So I didn't get her to pick up the canter over the poles, but I thought that actually it was just as valuable to see her reaction to the poles just in a different way. And actually, I did use the pole, now that I'm thinking correctly. I did use this pole here to get a change for the right lead, which she was very good about. Yeah, she was just so cute over this stuff. So simple. She just let me stay in the back seat and she just did it without really needing any poking or prodding from me. She's a pretty cute little mover, obviously extremely sound. Yeah, I thought that was really good, actually. I was quite happy with this. Now, you gotta think this is her very first post-track ride. She's a young horse and she's happy to go around and do all these things. Like, she's gonna pick up anything we want her to pretty easily without any fuss. And the other thing about her is that she absolutely is not silly in any sort of way. There's no unwanted behaviors, no silliness. She's really trying to do what you're asking her to do. So I couldn't get her to pick up that right lead. So we got the change over the pole. She was great for that. She was also a real trooper, but she was my first ride this morning, so the ground is most frozen for her, and she's having to deal with the snow on that long side and in that corner. She was very good about it. And again, very careful. She never slipped or felt unbalanced. She's just very aware of where she's putting her feet and her balance. Because this is really slippery right here, actually. So super cute little mare, just total blank slate, but absolutely no negative or unwanted things to have to work through with her. And she is just absolutely precious on the ground. She is so sweet to be around.